Avengers Endgame is one of the most anticipated movies of all time. The 22nd movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has already broken pre-sale ticket records and is on track for a massive opening weekend at box office. With only a couple of weeks left before the movie finally touches down in theaters, fan speculation has reached a fever pitch. Everyone wants to know just how Captain America, Iron Man, and the other surviving superheroes will avenge the fallen. After all, we've spent over 10 years investing into this universe, and we want to know how our favorites fare. With this phase of the MCU story wrapping up, the stakes are higher than ever, and we're eager for any information that might tell us what to expect when the movie finally is released. In this video, we're going to look at Endgame spoilers that could shed some light on what the movie might have in store for the Avengers. As a reminder, these theories may not turn out to be correct, but if they are, they're huge spoilers. If you want to avoid even the possibility of being spoiled, stop watching now. By now, it's really no secret that at some point in Endgame, the surviving Avengers will successfully reverse Thanos' snap. The question is, how? The fan consensus is that the team will rely on the quantum realm and time travel to make it happen. The movie immediately following Avengers 3 was Ant-Man and the Wasp. That movie's heavy focus on the quantum realm had fans convinced that it was setting up its importance for Avengers 4. Plus, it established Ant-Man's familiarity with the realm. Many signs point to this being true, including a spoiler from almost a year ago, courtesy of Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. Holland is known for accidentally letting things slip during interviews. He was even paired with a more restrained Benedict Cumberbatch, who was tasked with preventing Holland from saying things that he probably shouldn't. But even Cumberbatch couldn't stop Holland from mentioning the quantum realm. In response to a question about who had the toughest lines, Holland gave the nod to Cumberbatch. Holland explained that Cumberbatch had to talk about the quantum realm a lot. The thing is, the quantum realm never really comes up in Avengers 3. The actors did shoot Avengers 3 and 4 back to back though, so the actors may not have always known which movie they were filming. This reveal tells us that Cumberbatch's dusted Doctor Strange will be back in Endgame, and he'll have a lot to say about the quantum realm. Further confirmation of the movie's inclusion of the quantum realm comes from its trailers. Much has been made about the new suits the surviving Avengers wear as they march off to do whatever it takes. Fans believe that these are quantum realm suits. They are similar to the suit that Hank Pym had Ant-Man wear when he sent him to the quantum realm, so the theory that our Avengers are wearing quantum realm suits seems to be pretty solid footing. It seems plausible that the characters will utilize the quantum realm for time travel. Leaked set photos from last year revealed that the movie is set to revisit the Battle of New York from 2012's original Avengers movie. It was the first big Avengers team-up, so it would make sense that this film would want to bring the story full circle. And the leaked photos indicate that the Avengers are revisiting the battle, not having a flashback to it. In one set of photos, Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark is wearing the Black Sabbath t-shirt he was sporting during the Avengers, but this time he has bruises on his face that weren't there during the original Avengers film. Another photo showed Stark wearing a S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform and looking older. Meanwhile, other photos show the older Stark with Ant-Man, Hulk, and Captain America, who's wearing his suit from the Avengers. Of course, Ant-Man wasn't in the original Battle of New York, so something is definitely up here. Another indication that time travel is in the mix in Endgame comes from a leaked image of a Lego set. The set is a replica of Tony Stark's Hall of Armor, featuring several permutations of the Iron Man suit. In the scene, Thanos' insect-like minions, the Outriders, who played a big role in the Battle of Wakanda in Avengers 3, are attacking. The set raises some eyebrows because Stark destroyed the Hall of Armor in Iron Man 3, and since Iron Man and the other Avengers hadn't gone up against Thanos at that point, the Outriders were never in Stark's Hall of Armor. So perhaps time travel causes this to become the site of another battle in the new movie. One big question fans have is how exactly Captain Marvel shows up in Endgame without aging. The new addition to the MCU was introduced just a few weeks ago in a self-titled movie that was set in the 1990s. Endgame takes place decades later, yet when Captain Marvel appears in the Avengers compound to answer Nick Fury's page, the only sign that time has passed is her longer hair. Well, Nick Fury's alter ego, Sam L. Jackson, appears to have answered the question. In an interview, he revealed that Carol Danvers can time travel and seemed to confirm that that's how she returned in Endgame. Not only would an ability to time travel explain why Danvers didn't age, it also explains why no one heard from her in over 20 years. Either way, it's possible that Danvers' time-traveling abilities could factor into the Avengers Endgame plan as well. Another plot point from the film appears to be that the Avengers will seek out Thanos. How will they know where to look? It seems that's where Thanos' adopted daughter Nebula comes in. New Endgame footage has shared with the attendees during a private Disney shareholder meeting, and one of those attendees provided a description of the scene. In it, Cap, Black Widow, and others are discussing how to find Thanos. Nebula steps out of the shadows to reveal that Thanos told her what he would do after he carried out his nefarious plans. When Nebula asked where Thanos would go, he always said the same thing. While we still have no idea how it happens, the footage establishes that Nebula is brought back to Earth and teams up with the Avengers, and her intel gives them an idea on where they could find the Mad Titan. The team still has to get there though. This may lead to another scene, screened for attendees at CinemaCon. In that scene, the Avengers board a spaceship and Rocket asks if any of the passengers haven't traveled to space. In response, Black Widow raises her hand. Though it seems that the Avengers may not just travel through time in Endgame, they'll also travel through space as well. A long-time Endgame theory says that we may see the Avengers attempt to gather the 5 Infinity Stones and use it to create the Infinity Gauntlet. Fans have speculated that this may be the reason that the team uses the Quantum Realm to revisit the past. If the heroes gather the Infinity Stones though, it seems like they would need the Infinity Gauntlet to put them in. So perhaps the reason the team seeks out Thanos is to steal back the Infinity Gauntlet he used to snap away half the life in the universe. Of course, after the snap, that version of the Gauntlet was left burnt and broken, so it's possible the characters use time travel to acquire the Gauntlet before Thanos gets his big purple hands on it. Or one of the team's big brains, like Tony Stark or Bruce Banner, might be able to make a brand new one. Yet the idea that the Avengers take the Gauntlet from Thanos would have some merit if a new toy is to be believed. Build-A-Bear Workshop is currently offering an Endgame tie-in in the form of a plush Thanos. The toy has its own Infinity Gauntlet and sword, but the accessory of most interest is the sound chip. The chip includes 5 quotes that could be lines directly taken from Endgame, and there are 2 in particular that could offer spoilers. The first quote is, "I had all the power in my grasp." It's the word "had" that is key here. The power Thanos could be alluding to is the power from the Infinity Gauntlet. If Thanos had the power but doesn't anymore, that could imply that he lost the gauntlet. The second quote provides further evidence. In it, Thanos asks, "How are you doing this? You do not have the will to wield the power of the Infinity Stones." This one actually names the stones, indicating that Thanos either loses the gauntlet or at least the stones that the gauntlet held. It's true that holding the Infinity Stones is no small feat. However, there are a number of the Avengers team that might be able to do it, with the newly introduced Captain Marvel being the major possibility. It's also possible that the godlike Thor could have the capability. The Infinity Gauntlet comics also suggest that it could be Nebula. In the comic, Nebula is the one responsible for stealing the gauntlet from Thanos. Yet another clue that points to the Avengers' acquisition of the gauntlet comes from another LEGO set. This set features the Avengers compound. We'll provide more details on it in just a minute, but for this spoiler, there's a very small pertinent detail in the set. Part of the set depicts a lab with a computer in it. If you look closely at the computer, it's analyzing the Infinity Gauntlet. Another spoiler that comes from that LEGO set is that at some point in Endgame, Thanos will attack the Avengers compound. The box for the set shows Thanos in full battle armor attacking alongside his Outriders. Meanwhile, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Iron Man, and Nebula are defending their turf. Another toy release seems to increase the odds that Thanos' attack on the compound will actually happen in Endgame. A Diamond Select statue of Thanos shows him in battle armor standing on top of rubble, part of which is a destroyed Avengers logo. Thanos is wearing the Infinity Gauntlet and also wielding a double-bladed weapon. Is he attacking the compound to get the gauntlet back after the Avengers took it? Has he succeeded? Toys aren't completely true to the movies they represent, so we can't say for sure. That there are multiple toys showing an attack by Thanos on the Avengers compound, though, lends weight to the chances that it could happen. Adding more fuel to the fire is a scene from Endgame's second trailer. In the clip, there's a brief scene that shows Ant-Man running through the wreckage of the compound. The trailer doesn't give any indication of what caused the damage, but it could be a glimpse of the aftermath of the battle with Thanos. An additional spoiler may come from another unexpected source, the trailer for the show Agents of S.H.E.I.L.D, the Avengers TV counterpart. A teaser for the series' upcoming 6th season was released back in February, a full 6 months before the new season's premiere. If that weren't odd enough, fans have conjectured that the trailer could contain a spoiler for Endgame. A little more than halfway through the trailer, there's a blink and you'll miss it shot of a truck crashing into 2 black SUVs. That isn't so remarkable for the action-heavy show on its own. What is surprising is that the SUVs are decked out with S.H.I.E.L.D. logos. Of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. went underground during Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Hydra's infiltration forced the organization to operate in the shadows. While S.H.I.E.L.D. has made tentative steps back into the public eye on the show since then, it's still rebuilding its reputation. And those S.H.I.E.L.D. SUVs haven't been seen in public in years. The end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s 5th season happened just before the decimation. If Season 6 picks up right after the events of Endgame, those SUVs could mean S.H.I.E.L.D. is back in the public's good graces. Could that mean that S.H.I.E.L.D. is somehow revived as a public organization in Endgame? Some theories predict that that could be the case. With so many spoilers out there, it can be hard to know what to believe. One thing's for sure though, we'll find out what happens to Earth's mightiest heroes when Endgame comes out on April 26th. Are there spoilers and leaks that we didn't talk about here that you think could prove to be an important part of the movie? Share your intel in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button to let us know. Thanks for watching.